In today's news, the Hyundai Kona N gets teased, the Palisade has stinky seats, and the Kia Niro is crushing it. Welcome back to Lexurious Fleet. My name is Kirk and this channel is dedicated to Japanese and now a little bit of Korean autos as well. So subscribe, hit the bell icon so you do not miss any of my breaking news and reviews. Over at the Hyundai News Center, Hyundai teases sharp new Kona and Kona N line SUVs. It's getting some urban and sporty styling updates, and the Kona N line doubles down on sportiness and additional aerodynamic exterior detailing. The standard Kona gets a front skid plate and a new bumper. I'm sure most of you are more excited about the Kona N line. Of course, it's going to have a more aerodynamic design, low set air intake, more aggressive front bumper. This is kind of news. The N-Line model offers an attractive entry point to the N brand and expands Kona's appeal to a broader range of customers. We know about the Veloster N-Line, and yeah, it's good to see them adding to it. Rumors are it's going to be a turbocharged 4-cylinder. Big surprise. So here's the current Kona, and it is going to look super similar to this because it's just a refresh, but it's a pretty substantial refresh in my opinion because it changes the lights around. So keep in mind you have this slit here on this vehicle. On the current Kona, you have these really skinny LED daylights here, but you can also see in the corner the blinkers, and down here is going to be your nighttime lights. And this is a standard Kona now. This definitely looks a little bit more sleek here up front. They got rid of the blinkers, it looks like. Here's your new daytime running light. My guess is that the blinkers could be definitely underneath this daytime running light. New little pattern for the grille. And then if you zoom in, right here it says LED technology. So these are fully LED nighttime lights as well now, which is a big upgrade compared to those circular ones. So this definitely looks a lot more aggressive, a lot more sporty. And that's not even the N-Line model. And going to the N-Line model here, you can see they added back this front grille, except they added 3 pieces. Now the standard one, or at least the refreshed one that isn't the N-Line, is not going to have this slit at all like the current one does, but the N-Line adds it back and it gives it a little bit more detail with the 3 slots. The design of the grille here is more of a metal chain link fence sort of style. I guess it's a little bit more sporty compared to the standard one. And then at the bottom, just a little bit more flare down here compared to the standard for more aerodynamic purposes. And more design details on new Kona and Kona N-Line will be revealed in the coming weeks. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around because once I hear more, I'll definitely update you. Hopefully we get some information on that upgraded powertrain too for the N-Line. Hyundai 45 spied being quiet but fast on Nurburgring. If you haven't seen my video on IONIQ, the Hyundai IONIQ 5, which is going to be a crossover, is totally based off this 45 concept. So make sure to watch that if you're interested. If you guys want to watch the video of this thing flying around Nurburgring, it's way faster than you would expect a crossover to be, but since it has that low center of gravity with that big battery pack, it handles the turns really, really well. Now the takeaway here probably is that these are going to be standard headlights compared to the concept, the 45, which had all those cool little individual LED lights, which makes sense, but it would have been cool if they're able to keep that design. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to. But yeah, definitely check out that video of it racing around the Nurburgring. Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid breaks cover, but will the US get it? And this is the new Sorento. We haven't seen it here in the States yet. It definitely has a much more Kia Telluride look to the front end, which is not a bad thing. And a little bit of K5 as well. I like these vertical taillights. I think they look pretty sharp. It's a little overstyled here at the bottom with some fake exhaust tips, but hey, you gotta have some flair, right? Now, Kia has revealed the Sorento PHEV for Europe, and I hope it comes here because it's going to need to compete with the eventual prime version of the Highlander. Who knows when the Toyota Highlander is going to be primed, but it's got to happen. Just like the Sienna, the minivan, that's going to be primed as well. And if they don't, that's a huge missed opportunity because people are dying to get their hands on the RAV4 Prime, let alone the bigger family haulers, which I think that would be a huge opportunity for them. And if they don't, this is where Kia can swoop in with the Sorento plug-in hybrid before Toyota even comes to market with their Prime version. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out with the competition. Now, keep in mind this is for Europe. It says they use a base 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now this is for the plug-in hybrid, keep in mind, with a single electric motor for forward motion, resulting in 261 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. And what's different compared to the Toyota hybrids, this actually has a real 6-speed automatic transmission instead of an electronic CVT. It has a 13.8 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack underneath. Now the RAV4 Prime has a 18.1 kilowatt hour, and I would expect them to mass produce that and put that 18.1 in the Highlander, which would be a direct competitor to this. So yeah, the Highlander Prime would have more theoretical range, more power as well, because this has 261 horsepower. And this adds the complexity, guys, of having a turbo and a battery pack. And so there's just a lot of stuff going on here, whereas the Toyotas are definitely a little bit more simple, just a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder mated with the hybrid system with over 300 horsepower. And it's possible that it could be more in the Highlander, because if you look at the RAV4 Prime compared to the normal hybrid, it gets about 100 horsepower bump, but the Highlander hybrid has about 250 horsepower. So it's possible that a Prime version could have even more horsepower than the 301 or 2 horsepower that we see in the RAV4 Prime. They're guessing that it'll be somewhere around 25 miles in the EPA testing, which is going to be a lot lower than the Highlanders, around 40. And they're saying this will be the first Kia to use an independent battery pack water cooling system. Luggage capacity is essentially unaffected. That's really good to see. Now, Sorento plug-in hybrid sales will start in early 2021 in select markets. So maybe that's just for Europe, probably parts of Asia as well. And maybe it comes here in 2022 or 2023, whenever that Highlander Prime comes out, to take it head on. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shapes out, but it is exciting for someone to offer a plug-in people mover. I know we have the Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, which is selling actually really well around the world. But this actually has a little bit more power, it looks like, a little bit more range as well. Now, speaking of people movers, a 2021 Kia Sedona minivan won't look like much of a minivan. And they're calling it a grand utility vehicle, and that's what it looks like. To me, the first thing I see when I see this is a Ford Expedition. You cut off this part and just look back, that looks like a Ford Expedition to me. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. But this thing is absolutely massive. It's longer, has a longer wheelbase than the current Sedona. You can see how much stuff you can fit in here when you fold down all the seats. The interior looks pretty plush. You get this big touchscreen here. Now, of course, this is going to be a top-end grade, but this is an 8-seater version. There's also an 11-seater version. Now, I don't know if that 11-seater version would come to the United States, but that would be a unique segment for them if they're able to bring the 11-seater here. No one in the frickin' United States, as far as I know, unless you go to like a large like business van, like a shuttle van that can support like 2-3 families. This would be a possible winner for people who have big families and also want to carpool with the kids' friends and things like that. If they're able to have an 11-seater, that'd be crazy. That'd be a very unique market for them. And look at this, guys. I don't know if this would pass the United States where you could flip these seats around because of safety regulations, but how cool is that? Like, I can just imagine playing a game of cards, slide this seat back so you can play cards right here in the middle. And the customization here for having children to keep those seats rear facing is just a nice bonus that you can flip these seats around. Don't know what to think about this sherbet orange color. It looks pretty disgusting. But man, look at this luxury option. Lay back, have the seats fold out. I know the Sienna has options like that as well. But yeah, overseas it's called the Carnival, which I think would be a fun name if they brought the Carnival here to the United States. But maybe the Carnival doesn't have, you know, the most well-received stereotypes to it. You know, carnivals are kind of, you know, like carnies. Austin Powers, when Austin Powers talks about the carnies, maybe that ruined the reputation of the Carnival here in the United States, but Sedona it is, and that's hard for me because I always get Sorento and Sedona mixed up. I'm sure you guys do as well. I'm not the only one. Now, we will be getting the 3.5 liter V6 with the 290 horsepower. This is a direct injected, but it would be cool to see a hybrid or plug-in hybrid to compete with the upcoming Venza, because the Venza is only hybrid. Now, it doesn't have as much power as this, but the efficiency smokes. This is only going to get you guys like 20 miles per gallon, where the freaking Venza is going to be over 30 easily. So very interesting. I love seeing competition in the van segment because I have a family. I have a 2004 Toyota Venza all-wheel drive, and that thing still drives and rides like it's brand new. 2020 Palisade owners are complaining of bad odors. New car smell? No, you get old worn socks. Now, Cars.com was the first to report this common problem after their long-term Palisade began smelling funny. Really bad breath, garlicky smell, hot garbage, weird greasy electrical odor of sorts. Smells like old worn socks. Now, an owner in a forum wrote, I isolated the headrest overnight in the garage and on my car at least. It's not coming from the headrests themselves, which smell fine. The smell seems like it's coming from inside the seat cavity from the open holes where the headrests mount. So yeah, Hyundai's got an issue here. No one wants their cars to smell like hot garbage or greasy socks. Like, this is ridiculous. And I've been in some cars that just smell like the German cars just smell like crayons to me because of the adhesive they use on their vehicles. And it seems to get worse over time, and it gets worse when it's sitting out in the sun as it aerates. But yeah, this sounds like it's worse than melting crayon smell. This smells like fermenting garbage. So man, I wish I could give you guys a scent over YouTube where you could smell how bad this is, but I hope Hyundai's able to fix this, and this doesn't seem like an easy fix. And lastly, Lexurious Fleet over at Clean Technica, which is all about EVs for the most part. Kia Niro EV is the #1 EV in the Netherlands? What the heck? So if we look at the top 20 electric vehicles in the Netherlands for July, Kia Niro EV crushing it. Now, it's only sold 644 units, but you have to realize there's no way it sold that much here in the United States. The uptake rate in Europe is a lot higher than it is here stateside. This MG, which is a former British brand, it's now Chinese, over 500 units. Volkswagen Golf, now Volkswagen XC40, PHEV, they're including plug-in hybrids as well. And then its sister, the Hyundai Kona EV, at 363 units. So it looks like Kia, Hyundai, and then eventually IONIQ is going to be definitely upping production of their electric vehicles for select markets, right? Here in the United States, there's no way anytime soon, until that IONIQ 5 is released, we're going to see large volume of Korean EVs here in the United States. Now, what's crazy to me is the Tesla Model 3 was way here at the bottom, so my guess is it has something to do with supply, because going down to this next chart, the Tesla Model 3 has sold over 2,700 units from January to July. Kia Niro still beating it out thanks to this past month. It doesn't look like they're having the same inventory issues that Tesla is having, but very interesting to see the Korean automakers doing well in the Netherlands. The only Japanese one that I can see is the Mitsubishi Outlander, what I've already talked about a little bit in this video. But yeah, nothing in the likes of Toyota to be seen, since the RAV4 Prime is pretty much vaporware. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the comments. What do you think of today's news? I'm definitely excited about the new Hyundai Kona, especially the N. I always thought the Kona looked pretty good, and the fact they're making it look even better, revising the headlights, the bumpers a little bit, is pretty cool. Sorento plug-in hybrid, yeah, let's see if it comes to the States, because it needs to compete with the Sienna hybrid. That thing is going to be crushing it. And then the Kia Carnival / Sedona. Yeah, I don't think it's going to have all-wheel drive. I don't think I talked about that. If it doesn't have all-wheel drive, they're really missing out. That thing, it's huge. It needs to have all-wheel drive for the moms that need to transport their kids in inclement weather. So let's hope that they're able to have it with all-wheel drive. I think that's their #1 priority in that vehicle. And then if they're able to put in a plug-in hybrid or a hybrid for better efficiency, that would be their secondary priority. Stinky headrest seats in the Palisade. Yikes, and Kia Niro doing well. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Thank you guys for supporting me during this transition of me also covering Korean automakers. It's been a mixed bag of people sharing their comments, but overall, most people are very excited to see this additional coverage of this very exciting Korean automaker. Definitely raising in the ranks for popularity and quality and capability. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next video. And until next time, peace out and take care of yourselves.